Hello everyone, Peaches here with an episode of How's It Play? And this week we are covering Expeditions Conquistadors. It is a basic turn-based strategy RPG kind of. There's not a whole lot of actually like role-playing in the sense of progression and the typical, but it's got great elements of exploration. And combat is pretty unique. Now, this basically the phases planned out in 3 different things that you can do this game. And we're going to try to make this review quick. And 1, you have the in-town. Now, in town, you have all the different buildings, and these are what gives you your quests to go out into the world, explore, and encourage you to head to one way or another and deal with the locals in some way or another. And this is also where you buy your supplies for when you go back out. And I believe that you can also recruit some people from here. Mainly, though, it's for supplies. And it's a safe haven, which is also nice, so your supplies don't go down at all for this time frame. They just stay where they're at. And they don't drop any. And then once you exit out of the little spherical area, then you enter into the second phase of the game, which is exploration. Now, I really love the exploration. I think it is phenomenal in this game. It's... I honestly, I feel like it's one of those games where I just want to explore. Like, they actually truly reward you for exploring. Now, as you're exploring, you have X amount of moves that you have to progress each day. You have something like 22 turns, which will change depending on the environment you're going on. And once you're at the end, then you enter the kind of second part of your adventure phase where you go into the camp mode. And the camp mode is where you assign tasks. And you can auto-assign them if you want to, or if you have a particular thing in mind, you're more into like doing the individual things, and you can assign each unit to do a very specific thing. And that's cool. I like that. But like I said, I like the auto thing. Now, you can also do several other things where there's the... basically, what it'll tell you when you camp, you have 3 different things that you can do, right? So you have hunting, I believe... It's hunting, I can't remember all the 3. Basically, you have these 3. And wherever you camp will depend on the difficulty level of that. So if it's high in one, you might want to emphasize on the task section to do this. And what that'll do is it'll put more effort. Instead of being like a low percentage, it'll increase it to a higher percentage. And then you can also assign people during research, which is something that you will see unlocked here. And basically, it allows you to research new technology and different things and progress along. And finally, and then also, actually, before I move on to the next step, you will be out and exploring, and you'll find treasures and loots and unique locations, and also kind of give you events that'll happen. And finally, have the final phase, which is your combat phase, we'll say. The final part of the game, which is your combat phase. Now, combat is very turn-based, but they have some really cool things that are not unusual, actually are very unusual for these, in the sense that you can actually ambush enemies in certain situations. You have time to plan beforehand, and what you do is you buy supplies like barricades and traps and things like that, and then what you do is you set those up and you could funnel the enemy in, and then basically combat goes as a normal turn-based goes. There's nothing too unique here except that you can swap between range and close combat on the fly. It doesn't affect you any with your action points, and I think that'll be about it, actually. I think that'll pretty much wrap up what Expeditions Conquistadors is like. So I was going to just make this a quick video. There's a lot here. It's a great game, but I know that people really value their time, so I'm going to try doing this approach of making videos a little bit quicker. And so there you go. There you have it. There's Expeditions Conquistadors. It's a great game if you like basically exploring. It's one of the best games for exploring. You like turn-based combat, it's awesome. If you like a lot of unit management, it's got that going on. And ultimately, I think that's it. That's basically how the game plays. And thank you all for joining me for this, and hopefully you all learned something. And I would suggest go out, check out the game. They have a new one out, which I will have to get around to doing, which I believe is Expeditions Vikings. And it's done by the same people, so that'll be exciting. So that's all. So you guys all have a wonderful, glorious evening. Good night.